I pick truth for the record. I mean, I'm no longer fucking amused. I mean, I dress this shit on cut you loose. How long am I supposed to stick around for this fucking abuse?
What up, though? I go by the Vanglorious, man, and in case you haven't known by now, we talking hip-hop. I just got through talking about if the Lox was the greatest group ever. I mentioned Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Outkast, Bone Thugs, NWA, a couple people. And I was thinking about this, right? Who would you want to see Wu-Tang in a versus with? I've seen people say Outkast. I've seen people say, I think I've seen people say Bone Thugs. You know what I think about that? I think that Wu-Tang is more of a collective than it is a group. And I feel like Wu-Tang needs to do a versus with a whole label. Because they're too spread out, too accomplished over the decades. They have so much catalog that Wu-Tang can't just versus a regular group. We had to put Wu-Tang against, you know who I wouldn't mind seeing? Wu-Tang Bad Boy. Hey man, don't sleep. And if you know what you know Wu-Tang and Bad Boy got a little bit of a history. So that might be fire. What about Wu-Tang Death Row? Wu-Tang Cash Money? I don't know. I wouldn't say No Limit because I love No Limit, but nah. I don't think No Limit want that Wu-Tang smoke. But and Bone, man, we need to get Bone in verses, bro. We need to get Bone in verses. Who can we see them with? 3 6 Mafia. Outkast maybe? I don't know. And I feel like Cam needs to redeem himself. So I would personally like to see Cam and 50. Because I feel like 50 ducking versus Smoke in general. Because we didn't get T.I. 50. I would have really rather seen Dipset G-Unit. And we need to see Fat Joe in verses, man. I think Fat Joe will smoke a lot of your favorite rappers, man. I think Fat Jones and Jim Jones would be cold, but I don't think Jim Jones want that Fat Joe smoke. I think Fat Joe and Busta would be crazy. But I'm not here to talk about verses. I just spent a whole video talking about verses. What I'm really here for is to talk to one Joseph Anthony Budden and a group by the name of Slaughterhouse. Oh man, I'm so conflicted with discussing the house gang right now. I think that if you're a fan of the music of Slaughterhouse, if you've followed any one of these members' trajectory, I'm pretty sure you'd have an affinity for the group as a whole. Slaughterhouse committing highway robbery, man. I'm here to talk about it. I'm not here to throw slander at one of my favorite groups of all time, but let's just call a spade, dog. You see Crook in the interviews speaking about how desperately he wants this reunion before he calls it quits. He said he's working on his retirement solo album. He said that he ain't got but so much time left for him to want to keep doing this. So if they're gonna do a house gang reunion, like I'm saying I'm really in the group, man. This is when you love Slaughterhouse, man. There are people with that pig tattooed on their bodies, bro. So that goes to show you what type of cult following this group has, and this is why this is a highway robbery, right? Because I, a person who have listened to hip hop all over, so I'm familiar with all these guys from the beginning of their careers. But the ones I truly stuck to from day one, obviously I'm from Detroit, so Royce and Joe Budden from day one. Since the triangle, listen, man. I'm a Joe, I followed Joe throughout his career so much, and I saw Joe on Patreon talking about people not wanting to applaud, and that's why I want to give Joe his flowers, man, because Joe Budden, when I went to the podcast, I was talking to Roy Marlon Parks, So I didn't really get time to, go over there and touch the top with Joe because he was getting bombarded. And I just wanted to tell him how much he meant to me as an artist because we share very similar paths. I mean, almost eerily similar. Like, it's when he had certain exes, he was going through certain things, fighting his demons. I was literally going through a parallel thing in my life that wasn't like his, but I could literally pull a moment out of that dark career of his, and I could have some relatability in it because I was experiencing some very similar things, man. So I have a very personal admiration for Joe. But, nigga, you bullshitting. You bullshitting, Joe. Like, I was going to come on here and cuss you out about your podcast and say, hey, nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. Bring back Rory and Maul and all. Look, man, I can't say that. He has a huge audience. He's going to keep that. Some people, Ice has a hive. Don't quite understand that, but hey, whatever floats y'all boats, man. I don't judge nobody. And that's no shot at Ice. I like Ice. I like Ice and Ish, but I'm just more for the advocacy of the original. This is my thing. I'm not as interested in the pod anymore, and people keep telling me Patreon is jumping, so I think I'm going to go over there and check that out. But I'm not very interested in the catalog that's been dropping of the Joe Budden podcast since the Rory and Maul leave. I mean, I still listen. I ain't no hater. But, come on, man. I'd rather you come back and rap. And you've been talking about it too much. You're making me a little, I'm starting to feel annoyed, sir. But, I just think Joe brings something very special to this game. And if you a Slaughterhouse fan and you a cult following of that first one, and we know how we feel about the second one. I like it, but that ain't what the fuck we wanted from y'all, dog. We ain't want that Slim Shady House album. We didn't want that. So for y'all to do this from what we keep hearing around in the catacombs of the realms of people who like this type of hip hop, we keep hearing how masterful Glass House is. Now it's probably, and it didn't even sound dated when Joe played a snippet of it on the pod, but maybe he doesn't want to release some music so dark. So get your ass back here in the studio with them boys, man, and make that happen one more good time. Royce is maybe somewhere live, still tweeting at Lupe and Mickey Facts, I don't fucking know, but that can wait. Take shots in the album, or do that, save that for the Royce Slaughter album. But we need this Slaughterhouse album, man. What are y'all doing? Y'all can't leave the movie. Imagine going to a movie and watching the plot begin to set up and the movie begin to take off, and they be like, all right now, that's it. And just fucking walk away. That's like y'all giving us real life Pootie Tang right now. Y'all coming out on stage like, what are y'all doing? Come on, Joe. I just saw a video of Royce saying that they got the release from Shady. Royce got a studio that he seems to live in. Everybody keeps saying they're down to go to Detroit. So come on, man. Take the pod on the road with you or something, man. We don't want to hear that shit. We want to hear these bars. We want to hear these Joe bars with these Joel bars, with these Quick bars, with these Royce bars. Stop playing. Otherwise, if y'all don't give us for these people, when y'all careers were lackluster at a point, y'all still had mixtape following and all that, but the loyalists that stuck with y'all and went through that ride and didn't get the finish, didn't get the ending we deserved, if y'all don't give us that, man, that's highway robbery. For real. And I don't want to blame Joe, but it seems like all roads keep pointing back to Joe. Everybody else keeps saying we down. I see Joe expressing interest, and then, I think Joe is like pulling strings. I think Joe like to just say shit to get us going, just to watch us go. But I mean, I don't know that, man. But look, man, come on, man. Give us another fucking album. I would, if y'all released Glass House, I would pay $100 for a Glass House vinyl right now. Real talk, and I'm sure it's a whole legion of fans that would do the same thing. Now, I seen Joe say something on Patreon, a clip about the mind state he had to be in to make a lot of that. And as a person when I started seeing Joe do good, I was really happy for him because I understand what it took to get there. If you're a fan of the music, you know the journey, man. And I would never want to see Joe in that place again just for music's sake, but I don't think he has to be. That pen is nice. All those pens are nice. So give us the pen with some of that great production and finish this movie off right, please.
I go to leave, I figure fuck
Please.
the use. I do it for the
That is all.
fans that covered that
I'll
news.
see y'all in a minute.
Is that just another fucking excuse? Do I do it for attention? Cause I crave it, I won't mention it, I'll save it. If you know me, then you know a nigga treasure anonymity. Nigga thought that as a man, you must be kidding me. And I'm starting to feel like my fans are now condemning me. Listen, I don't owe y'all shit. Same Joe I am today is the same Joe y'all get. Y'all interrupt a nigga while he at his place of worship and think that came along with your $20 purchase.